I want to come in and talk a little bit. How do you put words in, that's unraveling in my sessions with the beautiful people I work with. I've had a supervision session. I'm Maria. I am a spiritual guide. I am a human, beyond human. And I'm also a supervisor, supervising people's practice, therapist practice. I'm a supervisor trainer. I have many roles and many hats, which none of it defines me. So to the point, I was having a session with a supervisor because one of my deepest passions is to support healers and coaches and professional therapists to be moved in their sessions from the mystery that we are. Okay, so, and it's amazing to witness professional therapists shifting in their sense of identity, actually, and awakening deeper into who they are. The fluid, watery essence that we are, that doesn't tend to grip and move into holding on to specific theories and beliefs, but it's more fluid, more trusting. So the shift that has been noticed in people is a kind of resting back. My poem says it, resting back in the seat of prayer. And how we're trained in psychotherapy and counseling to limit ourselves in the notion of a wounded healer or somebody who is a savior, somebody who will help and rescue or heal even somebody else. And that might sound a bit provocative, but bear with me if you're listening. And so one of the main questions that I am passionate about in the way that I work, the way I'm lived, is how deeply we invite the mystery in the way that we work with people. And that can only happen when we allow ourselves to be moved by the mystery of life. And one of my very passionate words that I use is the liminal. Yeah. The liminal is these parts of the conversation that are a veil that we look through. It is when we move with our client's story from a compass of not knowing, of not holding into any agenda, moving in empty, and being open. It feels like waiting at the yawned mouth of the infinite imagination and the imaginative realm of the client's soul, how she wants to express herself, her or his. So when I asked my supervisor, I asked her, how deeply do you invite the mystery in this moment in your life? And there was this pause, there was this, let me figure it out. And I said, that's exactly the problem. Our tendency to want to know in advance, our tendency to want to figure things out, I'd go even deeper and say, even our tendency to want to understand. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with any of this. But if we aim to arrive at a destination, which might take the form of an understanding, I actually find it limiting these days. Okay, so how empty can we be when we work with our clients to really let the mystery, the soul, find her true expression? And I'm somebody who has a very alive life force, and therapy has taught me to learn to actually tame that and get out of the way so the client's full dance comes into play, but also without abandoning me. So it's a very fine-tuned balance to find who we are and how we move in a way that actually offers people a different perspective, a different angle that is not limited. So my job if I could call it a job, which just doesn't feel like a job, is to point like a clean mirror in all of the ways that we limit ourselves into receiving our own wisdom. And a wonderful inquiry, which I want to leave you with, that we landed with a supervisee of mine, which was her words, and I said, oh, I'll use them, is we talked about a palate and how powerful the metaphor of a palate is, how much we allow ourselves to taste life's nectar, to taste, to receive a client, to receive any moment we live, from drinking our coffees to an exchange with another human being. Yeah. And the inquiry that she arrived at, which she gifts back to you in the world, thank you, Karen, is how palatable am I to myself? How palatable am I to myself? So this is a gift from Karen to the world. And I invite you to take it in. And don't look for an answer. You can move in your life from that inquiry. As you move around to do your dishes, your chores, how palatable am I to myself? And just stay open and see what emerges. Yeah. Because we lose the true taste of our own honey, our true wholesome magnificence, when we actually lend our tongues, metaphorically speaking, to be palatable in other people's taste, not ours. You see, so how palatable are you to yourself? Is my inquiry to you. If you want to know more about who I am and how I work, I'll put the link below. And if you're a therapist or a coach or a healer that would like to taste the deep essence of who you are and to bring that out more in the open with your clients and supervisees, then reach out to me. I'd love to hold space for you.